before we get into this, guys, I think I was wrong about the 90s, okay? Don't kill me, there are 800 of you! Let's see, can I get through this entire year without mentioning Windows 95? No, but let's take a step back here. The Great Hanshin earthquake hits Japan hard and kills about 6,000 people, and another thing comes from Japan too. CD-based consoles, baby. Sony released their brand new console, the PS1, in September of 1995. One of the only new consoles to pull off everything that it did with discs instead of cartridges. It also inspired me for my music name, Dexter Discs, which is partially because I like nostalgia in the 90s, but it's also because something disc-related back then was seen as a revolutionary thing from the future. So yeah. But also in this very same year was another tech company rivaling in their success, Windows. After the release of NT 3.51, Windows came out with the Windows 95 on August 24th, 1995, and it marked the first Windows system to become a part of the 9X family. And guess what? Pixar is born with the absolute classic that is Toy Story. Also, remember Dave Grohl? Well, he's back with his own music now, under the new name of the Foo Fighters. I wonder how that'll turn out. With 1996, we unfortunately begin to say goodbye to the millennial generation. In January, we say hello to the first flip phone, however, which goes on to sell 60 million units. Jay-Z releases his first ever album, Beyond Reasonable Doubt. And around a similar time, Microsoft also releases Internet Explorer 3.0. And the Nintendo 64 comes out and makes the first 3D game. Unfortunately, on the 13th of September, Tupac dies after being shot 6 times in Las Vegas, Nevada. A tragedy for the hip-hop community. But on the other hand, in March 1996 we get our first pictures of Pluto. This is also exactly 10 years before Pluto is declared a dwarf planet. Little fun fact there. The Spice Girls make the first album, and it sells just over 23 million copies, and let's be honest, who hasn't heard of the Spice Girls? Star Trek First Contact comes out, and Disneyland Main Street Electrical Parade ends after just 24 years of running. And so that, my friends, was 96. Unfortunately, my degenerate generation begins in 97, but let's just try and ignore that, hey? I mean, Princess Diana dying wasn't exactly a good reputation for the year, neither is the members of a religious cult all committing suicide and Bill Clinton hurting his knee. Yikes, a really awful start here. But there was some good of 1997, and while I don't exactly like it all that much, the Titanic releases and does so unbelievably well in the box office, it gives people literal heart attacks. Little side note here, in the UK it wasn't released until 1998, so I'm not sure whether I should put it here or not. Just see what happens, I guess. But by far the best thing to come out of 1997 is OK Computer, Radiohead's most phenomenal album. An album that absolutely destroyed the charts in the 90s, and was called by many not only the saviour of rock music, but also the best album to ever be released. A praise that is still given to it to this very day. This album is incredible, let's be honest. From the glitchy and playful guitars of Paranoid Android, a song that was named after a character in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, might I add, to the strange, shimmering melodies of Subterranean Homesick Alien, to the overall rockiness and heaviness of songs like Airbag and Electioneering, to the slow burn closer track. No surprises, in which the music video features Tom York basically being drowned. I guess MTV wasn't the only swim he went for, huh? Another album that just so happened to grace the music scene this year ended up being Dave Grohl's. Foo Fighters are now a band, releasing The Colour and the Shape to critical acclaim all around. I guess he really did manage to do it, huh? Also in 1997, the pilot of one of my favourite shows releases, South Park. Also, little fun facts, it's slightly out of date to the Cartman Gets an Anal Probe episode, but did you know Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls literally made it to #1 on the UK and Ireland charts on December 14th, 1998? #1! I really love South Park, really love South Park. But besides that, what might have been one of the greatest things to come out this year, heck, throughout history, was Harry Potter. You thought you could obliviate me about Harry Potter, didn't you, you Gilderoy-looking ass? Well, let me tell you something. Get the hell out of here before I Crucio and Avada Kedavra you out of existence! 10 out of 10 series, if you disagree with me, you're going with the Emperor. And with that mostly downward spiral of a year, we sell onwards to 98. In April 1998, Animal Kingdom opens up at Walt Disney World, the 4th and final installment to the Disney parks. Well, if you don't count my personal favourite parks, Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon, which were opened in 1995 and 1989 respectively. United States vs Microsoft takes place in May, June 28th saw the release of Windows 98, Sega Channels closes down, Britney Spears releases Hit Me Baby One More Time, the Titanic is the first ever film to gross $1 billion, I really did mean box office success when I said it, and on Christmas Eve, Sonic Adventure releases in Japan, one of the greatest Sonic games there has ever been. Aside from SA2. So yeah, certainly an improvement from 97 and things are looking better, but with 1 year left, can it stay this way? Only one can find out. Surprisingly, I thought that 1999 would be a big boss of a year to cover, but no. Not at all. So let's just dive straight into it so I can finish off this video already. Eminem releases the Slim Shady LP, the 71st Academy Awards ceremony takes place, The Matrix premieres, the Melissa computer virus infects Microsoft Word and Microsoft Outlook worldwide, a huge hailstorm puts Australia $1.7 billion into debt, SpongeBob premieres for the first time, 2 days later SpongeBob kills 665 people in a tornado, the Star Wars prequel The Phantom Menace is released, Prisoner of Azkaban is published, Matt and Trey come out with Bigger, Longer and Uncut, James Bond's The World Is Not Enough premieres, and finally, Mercury is visible from North America. And that's where I think we can finally put this timeline to bed. I want to thank you Muggles for sticking with me for over a decade, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!